Kirby Air most embarrassing review. Oh, I heard about this. Can I just read the review? Kirby Air's review, Nintendo's pink puffball rides again. Not the best tagline so far. I'm a bit disappointed, I'll be honest. One of the more controversial Nintendo sequels of recent times sees Kirby take on Mario Kart in this surreal new racing game. It's a bit naff when the journalists are also like doing the whole Kirby versus Mario Kart versus Sonic. Like, what? Yeah, what's so controversial about it? So this writing is really giving AI? Kirby Air just why? What do you mean just why? What? No wonder there's no like name attached. I think this might be AI. I'm not even kidding. There's no name attached? Or did the guy who wrote this really not want to take credit for this one? Nintendo's reputation for strange decisions, are both good and bad, has continued to blossom in the wake of the Switch 2's launch. From the weird summer release date to the inexplicable lack of news about a new Super Mario game, everything has been exactly as peculiar as usual. Although all that seems perfectly reasonable and logical compared to making Kirby Air Riders. God damn, real? Really this butthurt about no 3D mod? Is this Nintendo Land secretly? Really? Although it was quickly forgotten at the time, Kirby Air was released for the GameCube in 2003. It was not very good. In fact, when we're doing our list of the worst reviewed Nintendo games of all time following the launch of Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, Kirby Air almost made it to the list with a Metacritic score of just 61. So I'm guessing this is someone who never bothered to play the... Yeah, I'm guessing it's someone who never bothered to play the original. Just saw the Metacritic score and Metacritic therefore... Honestly, I really hope this was written by AI because it's just poor show. Does it make sense? Am I asking so much from my gaming journalist? Where if you're going to reference the original, at least like play the game yourself, if that makes sense? Like a little bit to get a feel for it, you know? Maybe? I don't think that's that hard to ask, right? We keep reminding ourselves of that fact over the last few months as Nintendo is engaged in a bewilderingly expansive marketing campaign for the sequel, which somehow included 2 one-hour-long directs. Why so much effort is being expended on a game we have no idea? And the more we played, we have more confused we got. Again, this is somebody who doesn't even like Sakurai? The reason they got 2 one-hour-long directs is because Sakurai wanted to talk about the game for 2 hours. Sakurai literally just went up to Nintendo and went, oh, can I just like talk about this game for like an hour? And they're like, sure. Can I do that again, please? Sure. No doubt that's literally what happened. None whatsoever. Because man just likes to talk about his video games, doesn't he? He did it with Smash and now he's doing it with Air Riders. I guarantee if he made like Kid Icarus Uprising 2 or like a sequel to that game for the Switch, there'd be 2 one-hour-long directs about that game too. Just like talking about video games, bro. I'm here for it. I like it when devs yap. More video game devs did like if Hades 2 did a Hades 2 directs where they just yapped about the game for an hour, I'd fucking watch that. The shocker, I kind of like it when the people who make art talk about their art. Crazy concept. To be honest, I'm kind of over the era of like nonchalant game devs. I want more game devs to be chalant. That's why I like Kojima. I've never played a Kojima game before. I just like how like crazy that man is. He just says shit. Like you've made some of the most critically acclaimed games on planet Earth. You get to be like a tiny bit bonkers, you know what I mean? Like you get to be a little whacked up talking about shit. Just talk about how you got a Kojima credit card. That's the kind of shit I'm here for, man. Give me more of that. Apart from anything, it's very odd that Kirby Air Riders is coming out so early into the Switch 2's lifetime, considering Mario Kart 1 has already provided a high-profile, family-friendly racing game for the nascent platform. Never heard nascent platform, I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced.
Nascent.
Nascent, yeah. Just coming into existence at the beginning to display signs of future potential. Okay, fancy word. Okay, at least I learned a new word today. But fans theorize that Nintendo is trying to butter up director Masahiro Sakurai to convince him to make a new Smash Bros. Game. According to him, the whole thing was Nintendo's idea, so who knows? I don't know how I feel about, I'm gonna be honest, don't know how I feel about like a games journalist using like fan theories. Do you know what I mean? There's something about it that rubs me the wrong way. If you're gonna talk about fan theory, at least give me your thoughts on it. At least say what your take is. Like, I don't think that's the case, but according to him, the whole thing was Nintendo. Like, I don't know, this just seems kind of... I don't know, maybe that's just a feeling. Maybe I'm just being a bit too negative. I don't know, this just feels like a weird sentence. It feels like a weird sentence to read in a games journalist's review article. I expect this from like fan Joe McSchlow on twitter.com, you know? What we do know is that Kirby Air was a fundamentally flawed concept 22 years ago, and it's not aged well. What makes you say that? Especially as the 3 main modes are more or less exactly what they were over 2 decades ago, to a point where this is really more of a remake than a sequel. This is a loaded sentence. Again, this is a news article, so I'm not expecting like you to go into like massive detail, but this could like this could be a paragraph on its own. Do you know? What kind of journalism is this? Do you know what the worst part about this is, right? I don't know if you guys know like Professor Lukey in the chat. He's a football journalist. One thing that the football journalism scene is kind of pushing for is more personality-driven content. Because this sort of thing can be written by AI. And it's not even a joke when I say that. This sort of like surface level basic take is the shit that AI does. So if this is the kind of shit AI does, why would someone read an article written by a human? You want it to be like more personality driven. You want it to be more data driven. You want it to be like have a bit more nous to it. This has nothing so far. Does that make sense? You didn't even play the original. Like, I think you just saw that the Metacritic score was low and just said that, as opposed to like doing your own research, which is just like sad considering you're a journalist. And even though it looks like a racing game, like I thought it was a racing game first, which I think is a fair assumption for the layman to make. From playing Air Riders, it's very clear that the key mode is City Trial, which is more like a battle-oriented sort of thing. It's got a racing element, but it's got more like, it feels like the City Trial is the more mode. It's the reason why City Trial was the mode they wanted to test out online with, and not the Air Ride mode. They wanted to showcase to you that City Trial is the main mode, and that's not a racing mode. It's like kind of a battle mode. When you say this, I'm just like, what makes it so fundamentally flawed? I don't know. It really is a catch-20. I would say it's a catch-22. Like, is it really? Like, obviously, gaming journalists kind of need to be like by the numbers because their job is just like, you know, reviewing video games. Want to get reviews out as quick as possible. No personality behind it. What's the point? No one's reading this anyway, and just get their by the numbers done, clock in, clock out sort of thing, right? If anything, IGN have showcased that you can do a bit more personality-driven stuff. Like, Logan Plant is a good example. I don't know if you guys know, but like there's a podcast that IGN hosts where like they talk about stuff. And while it is like relatively, it's definitely not as spicy as you think they were, they do talk about video games a bit more candidly, you know? So it is possible to be a bit more personality driven if you want them to be. It's just that I guess a lot of places don't want that, which is a shame, really. When you have the official media that talks about your art form, discuss it in such a service level way, you can't help but be disappointed, and it doesn't help the perception of game journalists being shit at their jobs. Various modes all use the same controls, but all work in quite different ways. The most straightforward is Air Ride, which looks and plays relatively similar to classic Mario Kart, except there's always other computer-controlled enemies on the course, along with actual races, which you can inhale and use as power-ups in the usual Kirby fashion. The game's main calling card has you, as they are always accelerating, and if you press the button down to slow to halt, you can build a turbo boost and drift around corners. If you don't do the latter, you tend to clatter around the narrow courses like an errant pinball, which proves there's skill to the game. Even if you can easily beat a computer without any real idea what you're doing. Okay, so fair. Yep, sure. Kirby has always been a series aimed at younger kids and non-gamers, so we assume Sakurai is trying to make things as simple as possible for them. But it doesn't work. The fact that you're always accelerating is hugely distracting and puts off every casual gamer we've showed it to. And while there are technically only 2 buttons to use, one of them does 4 things depending on the context. Does it put off casual players though? Like, when you say this, wouldn't it be the reverse? One time when I played Mario Kart with my mum, I put on auto accelerating first so she didn't have to always worry about holding the A button. You'd be shocked with like how difficult it is. Like, obviously for us, it's obviously second nature, right? For someone who's never, like a non-gamer, right? The idea of holding a button here and then having to move this around here at the same time can sometimes be a bit like disorienting, especially because we're used to it, so obviously we can do it. But like, so just having to do one thing works way better. At least, and my source is my mum, so at least I've got, granted, sample size of 1, but it works just perfectly for my mum. So when you say it puts off every casual game we showed it to, I'm just like, who were you showing it to? Yeah, it took me a second to get used to the fact that I kind of just have to let the controller go and use the steer, and then B occasionally. Like, for me, if anything, I'd say it puts off like a bit more of a hardcore gamer. Or like a medium core gamer, you know? I know for me, it took me a while to get used to the fact that my game controller's moving and I'm not playing anything. But luckily, the game has enough depth to it. I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of fuck with this, you know? Anyone can start playing Mario Kart within seconds, especially if you turn auto accelerate or steer. Of Kirby Air Riders, you're first encouraged to play an 11-step tutorial. One which doesn't explain why there's an arrow, a gun sight bobbing around in front of you at all time. It only becomes obvious in top ride mode that is meant to show you direction and speed you're going. But if you need a game that ostensibly simple, then this is surely a sign that something isn't right in the game design department. I could easily boot up the first stage, I think it was like Floral Field or whatever it was, give it to someone and they can kind of figure it out. This one, hold this one to slow down and like boost, and that's it. I could give my brother this controller and just say, hey, hold B to like slow and boost, and that's it. He can figure it out. I like that there's an 11-step tutorial, but like he doesn't need one. The fact that you're using the 11-step tutorial as like the be-all end-all of you need a tutorial, therefore it's too complicated, is crazy to me. If there wasn't one, I feel like you'd write, there isn't even a tutorial for this, you know? It's just a nice option that was there. It was rubbish in 2003, it's rubbish now. Jesus, got rubbish. Rubbish. Damn. Top Ride is essentially the same as Air Ride, but viewed from the top-down perspective, similar to supercars. It's not as clever as Micro Machines, though. There's no real gimmick to all. making it by far the least interesting of the 3 game types. I never played this one, so I can't vouch for that personally. This is exacerbated by the fact there's no structure whatsoever to the main 3 modes. There's no Grand Prix options, no tournament, you just play a single race and that's it. There's no particular reason to play again, other than trying to complete the achievement-style challenges like gliding for 3 seconds or completing a lap in a certain time. Doing so unlocks cosmetic decals that you can customize your vehicle with an online license card, and sometimes you unlock new characters and vehicles. These challenges are displayed by a large grid, one for each mode, just like Smash Bros. In fact, the presentation in general is almost identical to Smash, from the menus to the music to the style of the answer, almost like it was made by the same guy. The highlight of the game is supposed to be City Trial, which is no fun whatsoever. The extremely odd concepts involve racing around a relatively large city in its environs, trying to collect icons to improve your stats for your vehicle. You can attack other players who are doing the same and try to steal their dropped icons, but you don't have to, and it's easy to win without interacting with them at all. After 5 minutes, the game ends with a Mario Party style minigame that only lasts about a minute or two, which involves things like completing a drag race or driving through the number of targets. None of these are interesting in their own right, and there's no guarantee the stats you are improved on will prove useful, since everyone votes on their own game to play, and if they all choose drag race, for example, and you haven't increased your speed stat, there's very little chance of you winning. Is that not... In fact, wait, hang on, hold up for a second. I don't think that's how it works. Surely it's you pick the mode, and anyone else who picked that mode with you plays the game with you. It's not... Hang on, this is terrible. This must be AI. That's literally not how the game works. And even then, even if you say all of this, the recommended option like gives you the best option for the build you have. This actually has to be AI. My problem with the City Trial mode is I think it ends a bit too quick. Like there's a bit too much collecting and not enough playing the game. Crazy. This must be AI, bro. This is AI as hell. What's especially baffling about all of this is essentially it's the same as the original game. The controls, the options have been refined. The minigame choice used to be completely random, but it's still the same unengaging concepts underneath. The only improvement is the graphics are a lot better, with some pretty stages in air ride mode. But so much of them are on the rails, literally in terms of grinding, and also segues like dropping down a waterfall, that together with the constant acceleration, the whole thing feels only semi-interactive. I would say I could sort of get that feeling, because I think when you played air ride mode, it was only with computers, and they were level 3. But the air ride mode kind of felt that way in the test. But of course, I never tried it with like harder CPUs. Does that make sense? So this is a claim that I agree with, but then I'd also ask, did you play with like harder CPUs? Because I like to imagine with harder CPUs, the air ride mode was a bit more engaging. And the only genuinely new mode in the game is a roughly 4-hour-long, faintly roguelike inspired story campaign called Road Trip. Although the first problem is that that the plot is such utter nonsense, we began to wonder whether they were hallucinating it. Especially given it's told for a series of very expensive looking cutscenes with lots of hard science fiction elements. Is this like a no joy, no whimsy sort of thing? Firstly, it's Kirby. Kirby just does that. Secondly, like this feels like it's a classic case of, why are they doing a story? Yeah, Sakura made cutscenes, that's crazy. In terms of what you do, it basically chops up the different modes into bite-sized chunks and serves them up at random as you travel, automatically of course, along a road and pick one of 3 options available. That sounds like the mode from Smash 3DS, if that makes sense. This might be, it might be a one-lap race in air ride mode, or top ride mode, or minigame, or an encounter derived from City Trial. There are a few bespoke sequences, including some boss battles towards the end, but nothing of real interest, and all of it, like every Kirby game, is trivially easily. You unlock super hard in New Game Plus, but it's nothing of the sort. Damn, he's a gamer. If you want to play a Kirby game, then there's already a Switch 2 version of Kirby in the Forgotten World. This is shocking. Yeah, this is AI, bro. For me, I was literally thinking, did I get Mandela? Oh my lord, bro. Which is the best adventure in years. If you want to play a fun, family-friendly racing game, the Mario Kart world's right there. If, however, you want to play an irritating, formless racer that is simultaneously overcomplicated and far too simple, then Kirby Air Riders is the game for you. Damn, bro. In short, one of the most baffling Nintendo releases of recent years, with a quasi-remake of one of GameCube's worst games that seems specifically designed to irritate and confuse would-be players. The graphics are pretty good, although the course designs are overstuffed with features. Air Ride can be relatively entertaining in multiplayer. And the cons? The entire concept of the control system in City Trial is deeply flawed and no fun at all. No structure in single-player mode and very few neat ideas for a 22-year gap between entries. Score? 4 out of 10. Oh, hang on. The chaos is brilliant chaos. This isn't a pickup game. It's like working hard to learn the basics and to reward your efforts. This game has been reviewed from the view of a game that should be too easy because it's Kirby. And it isn't easy. It requires skill and takes some learning. Nintendo really learned from the criticism of the original game and made it better in every single way. He killed him, gamers. He killed AI. He killed AI. Good stuff, brother. The fact that you're always accelerating is distracting and puts off every casual game we show to, but then half a sentence later, anyone can start playing Mario Kart with seconds, especially if they turn on auto accelerate. Oh, man. Good catch. Good catch, brother. Good catch. Good catch. So is auto acceleration a problem for casuals or an easy onboarding option?
Oh my God!
Damn, bro. Get grilled for Tim is killing him. Can I offer it? Okay, murdered. Incompetent fencer can't decide if he likes auto acceleration or not. Incompetent fencer. Shit. Kagurisu anime profile picture. Hooks and cooks, broski. You were wrong 22 years ago, and you'll be wrong 14 hours from now. Maybe something like Garfield Kart 2 is up your speed? Surely like Dr. Robotnik's ring races will surely make you all weep. Good job, Joef. Nice one, Joef. What's Jack got to say? Sounds like you missed all the nuance of the game. Complaining about not offering any fresh ideas and demanding Nintendo put out more of the same with Smash Bros. Or 3D Mario is an equally funny one.
Oh my God!
Literally, it's like literally, that's what's going on here. It's every casual Nintendo fan, isn't it? This game's boring. Literally, didn't I say there's gonna be people who do this shit? This game's boring. Why did they even make this game such a baffling game? Why is the Sakurai doing Smash? Literally, he's literally one of those. I didn't expect this from the journalists, but apparently the journalists. And then the you do you at the end. Oh, that's passive aggressive, Jack. That's passive aggressive as hell, boy. That's crazy. That he hit him with the hope this helps smile. That's nasty. It's a risky move when you play like one of those moves at the end, you know? I think it paid off this time. Adam. Very cringe review. It doesn't even sound like you put the time to play and just decided it was trash for no reason. The game uses 2 buttons. It's still too hard for you? No even bothering to learn the basics? But I guess this is just for getting those clicks. He called him the imposter. Jeffrey Lau? How dare you insult the GameCube original? It was my favorite games of literally my fun. My friends and I had the game played for hundreds of hours. My father bought it for me at Blockbuster all those years ago. It's a dearly loved classic. Say what you will about anyone, but don't insult. Yeah, okay, brother. Zip it up when you're done. Okay, calm down. Calm down. All right. Yeah, I'll give it. Look, you see how this got 5 to 10? Literally, the like to dislike ratio is cooking. I'm giving this a relax yourself, brother. Okay, relax yourself. You guys don't fail to surprise with your wildly ridiculous opinions and reviews, but we get it. You need the clicks, and you need to be different. You need to do something that's different. Sad state of affairs. They use this tactic. Time and time and again, thereby invalidating your credibility as a reliable review source. They can't win. They've been accused of Nintendo bias incessantly for years. When they scored a Nintendo game low, you accuse them of sensationalism. Well, no. What the issue is, okay, but bearing in mind, you're falling for the classic. But when they do this, people call them this. But when you call them this, but the things do this, you're falling for the Goomba fallacy. You as a games journalist, in the same way me as a YouTuber, firstly, who's there? Yeah, obviously who's there. But even if this is true, it's not your job to cater to the masses that will dislike your comments anywhere. What your job to do is to be the most consistent voice you possibly can. That's what I do, right? Like when I talk about a YouTuber and I like them, oh yeah, Moresty, you like my YouTuber too? Hell, but then when I talk, oh Moresty, you fell off. Oh man, oh this sucks. Like it just happens. That's normal. Like that's about as predictable as the sun rising from the east. I don't even pay them any minds. So when you say like this person just doesn't know, you don't know, you know. Because I can't wait till you slander my goats until you unsubscribe. Yeah, you're like yes. Mostly slander my goat. I can finally unsubscribe. I can finally, yes! A stupid walking contradiction, literally. As if I've not reacted to some of my goats who had a fucking howler. You know what I mean? I still remember King K, okay? His next video was amazing. But that Sword and Shield retrospective was ash. You know what I mean? It was less than stellar, bro. I know what it's like when my goat washed, alright? I know it just like anyone else. I tried to see each other in early access, and I agree. It's 2K to be a joke. She's 16 to 50? Fucking hell. You know, I'll give him a like just to help a nigga out, you know what I mean? Poor guy. Vickerfly. God damn, poor guy. Does his higher side just get invaded by Nintendo hating trolls? Seems like the opposite for me. Anyone sharing the sentiment of the reviews getting downvoted to oblivion. Gets downvoted to oblivion. Probably because the scores are drastically lower than average. Same with Hyrule Warriors, which is actually really enjoyable. It seems off. Cancel my pre-order after playing this demo this weekend. Doesn't seem like I'll be getting much content for the high price point. It's a demo. Of course they're not going to put all the games there. Demos almost make you want to play the full game. This one failed to impress. Yeah, I think Theo's fair. I think it's an unfair... I'm going to be right. That's an unfair ratio. This is an unfair ratio. I'm going to be honest. Why pre-order in the first place? I mean, you could give him some moron points for that. But he pre-ordered it thinking, oh, it'd be right up my alley. Played the demo, realized, it's not for me. Cancelled it. And yeah, like, if you play the demo and you didn't like it, then that's fair. Undeserved. Theo, undeserved. Got caught in the weird. Casualties of war, Man, if Prime 4 is a disappointment for GC... that'll be 3 Switch exclusives in a row. They've been that will have tainted the launch for them. Pretty bad run for Nintendo. Huh? Is this guy like playing? People just be saying things. No, literally, he's playing financial advisor for a games journalism site. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I'm guessing he's Game Central, which is this Metro Game Central. If Prime 4 is a disappointment for Game Central, it'll be 3 Switch exclusives, and that will have tainted the launch for them. Probably, oh man, oh hell nah, not for Game Central. It's like, why do you care? Tainted the launch of a system that's nearly sold 10 million systems in less than 6 months? Seriously? Tainted the launch for people who want Nintendo at their best for the first year of the new console? Yes, seriously. But if seeing strong sales are more your thing, I'm happy for you. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I think for a lot of fans, even a 7 or 8 out of 10 would be disappointing for them. What? Oh, this person's cooked. It's actually Jova. It's actually Jova. A 7 or 8 out of 10 would be a disappointment. If every review site gave Metro Prime like an 8. Firstly, just to clarify, I just want to make the baseline clear. Don't give a shit what Game Journalist thing. But if like the scores are in and Metro Prime 4 gets like 8s across the board, I'm like, fair. Sure. I'm not going, it must be a 10. No, it must be a 10. No, I only care if I think it's a 10. I don't know what Metroid Dread got. All I know is that if you're asking Sir Musty for Sir Musty's score, that game's a 10 out of 10 video game, No, my scribbly coded. Literally. What? There are a lot of arm bells already. What with the chatty NPC sections, potentially undercooked bike sections, and low profile way they've marketed the game. Even if it turns out well, the idea of Kirby Air Rider should get something like 2 hours worth of directs dedicated to it, and Prime 4 gets an overview trailer that apparently doesn't even count as a direct, would almost be insulting. It seems possible Prime 4 to be less enjoyable and less appealing than that, at least for GC. Why do you care? Fuck on my life. Guys, I'm just going to go back to being a security guard, chap. I'm going to go back to being a security guard full time. All right, I'm going back to it. Because the moment I see Sir Musty fans going, oh, I don't know, man. Is this really going to do... Oh, is this game really going to do well for Sir Musty? Oh, man, I feel... Yeah, just pack it up. Pack it up, boys. Pack it up. Just pack it up. Once you guys start getting that parasocial, like, just put a pull in me. Just get rid of me. I'm sorry. Get rid of me. This guy's parasocial for a news journalist site, bro. Fucking get rid of me. Absolute toss review. Much like the Hyrule Warriors one, which is a great game. 4 out of 10. Behave. I'm sorry. It's not even 4 out of 10. Get like your head screwed on loose, like it's literally like a teacher, right? Behave. I don't think it's more of a behave. It's more of a 4 out of 10. Behave. It's like a strict year 1 primary school teacher, Game Central. Hey, I'm teaching the class. Behave. It's more of one of those. Do you know what I mean? 4 out of 10. Behave. Probably grew up slating Nintendo for being kiddie. Oh, I mean, he got him there. Gamers. He cooked him. Yeah, that's one. Your name's on the board. Your teachers did that as well, right? You're being naughty. I'm going to put your name on the board. If you continue, you're going to get a timeout, Literally. That's brilliant. This went down from a possible buy to no chance after playing the Gold Test Ride. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Got caught in the crossfire, I'm afraid. That's a fair opinion to have. Again, I think that's what the test ride is good for. It's to test if you want to play the game. For me, I went from I don't know to I'm intrigued, you know? But I can imagine there's some people who went from I'm sure to you know? Imagine if these devs had been helping out with Mario Kart World instead of wasting the time. Oh, gamers, I knew it. I told you guys, look out for these people. Look out for these people, chat. These waste of space. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. These people are the rots. These are the people that would happily sell every single relatively unsuccessful Nintendo franchise just for an extra 3D Mario, just for an extra Smash Bros. This is the rot I'm telling you guys about. Me, Kirby Air Riders, even if I do buy it, it's probably not going to be my game of the year. I'm happy you, Kirby, bro. I'm happy that Nintendo is one of the few big companies that still commits to releasing like lesser series, lesser commercially successful series, so we can enjoy them. Do you know what I mean? And then people like this like to. Do you know what these people like to do as well? They like to pretend Nintendo's this small little company. Do you not believe they could work on Mario Kart World and Kirby Air Riders and Metro Prime and so it just doesn't end with these people. These people are rot scammers, I'm telling you. These people are fucking rot. I'm glad you don't even have double-digit likes, bro. They're rots, I'm telling you. These people aren't real. They're not. They're glassy-eyed automatons, all right? I'm telling you. Imagine if these heads are hyping on Mario Kart instead of wasting time on it. We might have one amazing kart race on Switch and two disappointing ones. Fucking rot, bro. As if EPD, what was it, 9 or EPD 8? And was it like Sora or like, as if, yeah, let's take the company and merge it with another company and make one big company. Because that's how it works, right? Because I'm a fucking child, right? Mario Kart 8 was less substantial than World when it released, and now all it does is complain about World and its current state isn't as good. Whatever, man, I'm not reading any more of this. A game for airheads is this. Okay, we got Yoda. We got Yoda here. A game for airheads, this one is. This pink ball will not be getting a live-action film, he won't. Alright, Yoda. You gotta stay dead, little bro. Gotta stay dead, little bro. Anyway, terrible. For your sake, I hope this was written by clankers, because this review was fucking embarrassing. And we'll leave that there. Good lord, what was happening in there?